Hello and welcome, everyone. As I unmute the gentleman, I wish that the recording software we used actually had a unmute button just for you guys. That would be really nice. But welcome everyone to the end of tour Friday night live stream. It is a festive one. It is being sponsored tonight by let's see, Jim Beam Vanilla, a little bit of triple sec, and some orange juice. So
Orange juice Laurent.
Gatorade Zero.
There you go.
He's got the agua caliente, right?
Agua mineral. So yes,
I hope it's not agua Montezuma.
Oh.
And of course, Speedy is with me tonight.
Speedy as always.
Ipa.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
It is the same old crowd.
Hold on.
Oh.
I brought somebody else with me tonight too. Just to trigger some people.
Oh gosh.
Oh.
I
He's
love it.
Tooting us, shooting us.
I got him on the back up.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Yes, so with today, I just want to shout out that Phil is running the chat today, so make sure you shout out to him. He's gonna tell us what's going on in the chat, which will make him talk more. So
yeah,
woo to that one. The only thing that I do want to say is most of you guys, know who the heck we are. We have the Maha Butchie with us as always. We have Gerard, and we of course have the Phil Foundation. And I just want to, preface the fun that we're gonna have tonight.
Ooh, preface.
Yeah,
like
I used a 5-cent word.
Big words.
Boom.
All right.
I'll
just say preface.
What you know about preface?
Right?
Oh, I love it.
Motherfucker think he's smart.
Oh. But as my chair is freaking
Got
sinking
some
to the
words.
I hate this chair sometimes. It sinks to the floor. But yeah, so ultimately, the fun that we have here is awesome, and we love hanging out with each and every one of you. And it's all of our hopes that, the shows here build the community, of Medic Materials. And so if you're not a Medic Materials subscriber on YouTube, hit that big red subscribe button. It's literally free. It takes you 5 milliseconds. You could have been done already.
Don't be lazy. Just hit the fucking button.
Exactly. And
hit the like button. You can hear notifications.
Likes, right?
The
notifications, all that good stuff.
Exactly. The more that you guys interact with everything that we do, the more people see it. That's how these algorithms work.
Yeah.
So the fact that you take our link to this live stream and share it out to your Facebook friends or to whoever and say, hey, these fuckers are funny, let's join them. That's awesome. Do that.
And funny looking. I mean, hey.
Right, I will be the first one to admit I'm funny looking. And
don't be a creepy lurker. You know what I mean? Just sitting there, like we see you, and you're just like, I don't want to say nothing. I don't want to touch nothing. Don't want to know I'm here.
There you go. And the other big thing is we just launched our own Discord server. So that is the place that we want to build this community. So if you're looking at the stream, the link for the Discord server is in the description of the stream. Just click on that. You can join for absolutely nothing, and I literally post everything there. So
there's all kinds of shit in there.
Yeah, the stream updates, call reviews. If you have a question about a call and you want to throw it in there to see what other people will say about it, throw it into that, chat board. All of the things that I do on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, everything from the social media accounts go into one channel right there. So you don't have to be, a subscriber everywhere. You can just be a Discord, server person and be in the community and chat it up. And it's a lot of fun. So, make sure that, if you're not, And there's memes. I specifically made a channel just for Gerard and his memes.
And I posted one that I made.
I know.
I guess I pretty much started a new telehealth by paramedicine today. Apparently,
Right.
So.
You did. You saved my butt. So thank you for that. But one of the things that I wanted to, and I kind of sent it out to you guys, and I don't know.
1-800 Exalted.
Oh, there you go. Exalt. What is it? Exalted Consultations. There you go.
There you go.
There's no group of Exalted Consultations. There you go.
Maha Consulting Inc. But yeah, I sent you guys a message, and Phil was the only one that responded. I know, Butch, you were driving home at the time, and Gerard, I know you have other stuff going on, but through the week, I was out and about, and my wife and I decided to go out to dinner because our oldest is here at the house with us while our youngest was visiting family for the week.
Did you go to the Yellow Deli?
I did not go to the Yellow Deli. Oh my God.
No free calendars.
No, I'm only going to the Yellow Deli with you, Gerard, when you come visit. So if we die together.
Or we end up in a really cool cult.
Right. You'll never know what's going to happen.
It'll be the path to enlightenment, and we'll never know.
Who knows?
At least you get a free calendar.
At least you get, maybe.
I get a free calendar,
Depending on what the actual calendar is,
Maybe a gimp suit. Yeah, good.
So if you guys want to throw it in the chat, one of the things that I asked you guys was, I had a minor accomplishment in my 35, almost 36 years of being on this earth this past week when I went to dinner with my oldest and my wife. And I said to you guys, think about a minor to a major accomplishment, and I wanted to see what you guys came up with. So in the chat, if you guys had any type of accomplishments, it could be it could be as stupid or as, amazing as humanly possible. Whatever you think was an accomplishment, throw it in the chat. I want to read what you guys have to say. But mine for this episode was, I finally figured out, call me retarded, I don't care. I finally figured out how to actually use chopsticks to where I could hold them in my hand and pick up food, because I could never do that before. And my wife has been trying desperately to teach me for years, and it's always been a fail. I've always been like, nope, screw those things. Chuck them across the table. Where's my fork? I'm an American. Fork.
Yep. You're appropriating other cultures now.
Yep. And I'll tell you, my oldest was like, I want to learn to use these. And there's been a lot of other restaurants that have given the kids before they break them apart, they keep them connected at the end, the disposable ones. And then they put a rubber band on it with a piece of paper stuck in the middle, and they just become claws. And that's how they teach them to hold it. And then it just works. And he was like, we went to a place that had real awesome, chopsticks, not just the wooden kind. And he's like, I want to use these. So of course, Jess is sitting there trying to, teach him how to hold it. And that made me feel really dumb, because I was like, I still don't know how to hold it. And by the end of dinner, I could pick up a dumpling. So
hey,
nice.
I was super proud of myself. So like I
Fantastic.
said, so if you have a major to minor accomplishment, it could be that you took a dump that was, a foot long.
Thinking.
I don't care. I don't care what the accomplishment is. I want to hear them in the chat. So do you guys have an accomplishment for this week?
Yeah, I was thinking as soon as you said it, I'm like, what did I accomplish this week? That was kind of big. I don't know. Well, I mean, after 3 days, I did get around to cleaning the bathrooms. So,
dude, that is an accomplishment. I did the same, but I
said I would do them 3 days ago, but things
and stuff.
Yeah.
Phil,
I like to wait till things reach critical mass.
Then do it.
I'm about to be murdered
Oh,
before I actually, make things happen.
That's dangerous. That's living
Well,
dangerously right
I
there.
like to live dangerously. Danger's my middle name.
So, Mr. Phil Foundation, do you have anything that you accomplished this week that was major to minor?
Trying to think. I've have not missed a gym day for the past week and a half.
There you go.
Now, see, that is a major accomplishment in my book, because I'll tell you, I'll sit there and be like, let's go to the gym. I go once, and then 2 years later, I'm like, let's go to the gym.
Yeah, I have a powerlifting competition in June. So
Look at this motherfucker.
I know, right? Like, who
Arnold
knew?
over here. He's Arnold. He's gonna get to the chopper soon.
I know, right? Like, let's see the guns. Oh, love it. Love it. So what goes on with powerlifting? Like, are there...
Well,
'Cause,
you
like,
lift
No, I
with a
understand
lot
that.
of power.
And you put it back down, lift it again.
You put it back down.
I get that, but is it like wrestling where you have different like weight classes, like, depending on the size of the human being? Because like,
Yeah,
I'm,
so,
sorry,
like wrestling.
Phil,
Like,
I'm
damn.
sorry, Phil is not a big dude. Like, is he gonna go up against the size of a guy like The Rock?
it's broken. It's a little different weight classes, but it's broken up the same way. So like they're like federations. Each federation is different.
Let me ask you a question. Can you shit talk?
Have you taken your steroids this
Like,
week?
like you get it up, you bring it down, and you look at the motherfucker, you're like, yo, kiss the people's elbow, bitch.
You could do it once, probably. Anything
Once.
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 But then you squeeze your head, and you're like, you pop.
Your eyeballs pop out, shoot across the floor. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, that is something that I doubt I would ever do, is try and do a powerlifting competition. So more power to you, my friend. That's cool.
All right. So what you did
Thank
there?
you.
Aha, haha. I didn't even realize I did that. Thank you for
Mhm.
catching me on that
Mhm.
one. Mm-hmm. All right, Mr. Butch, what did you accomplish this week?
Oh, let's see.
Other than starting your own personal, consulting firm in the last 12 minutes.
Oh, trying to think. What did I accomplish?
You woke up, you stood up.
I did do that.
You put your gym together.
That's true.
I
You
did.
did
That
put
was
your
last
gym
week.
together.
Yeah.
That was an ordeal.
Yeah. My home gym's together. So that's a very good thing for me, because I needed that in my life, because over the last, I don't know, 8 months, I've been on this journey to lose weight. I'm down like 132 pounds so far. So almost at my first goal weight of being down to 250. 2 more pounds to go, I'll be down to 250. So
Nice.
Oof. No wonder he's not drinking.
yeah.
Good for you guys. So, yeah, I bring this up because today, for me at least, was a hell of a day.
I mean, you got chopsticks, so
Right. So that was
That's a good offset.
right. That was another day. But I'll tell you, like, today was weird. So I ended up going to work, and of course we were up playing tanks last night, and which was super fun, even though we, ended on not so good note, but
Not
whatever.
a high note.
Whatever, no big
Yeah.
deal. Still fun. And so we're playing tanks. I go to bed. No big deal. You know me. I'm always up late.
Mm.
So I get up, no problem. I go to work, drive the hour and a half to work, no problem. Get there, get my stuff. And I'm like, all right, everybody, all, 5 medic trucks are in service. I'm going to bed. So I go to bed. And for system status, if 2 trucks go out on calls, I now have to move, right? So one call goes out and I wake up and I'm like, okay, call's going out, and I go back to bed, like whatever. And I guess there was another call that goes out and I wake up for it. And I'm like, okay, now I got to like do system status. Sweet. What I didn't realize was in between those two calls, there was a third call that went out that I never knew about because I slept right through it. So,
Damn.
So now I'm supposed to be about 30 miles from where my current location is. And I wasn't there for a call. And so I had to call my soup and be like, listen, falling on my sword, very gracefully and humbly, I fucked up. I know it. I should be here, but I'm here. And someone else is going to need to take that call because I'm about 30 minutes away. Sorry. So who ends up taking it? The chief of the company. Okay.
Well, it's good. It's good. Get some exercise.
Yep. And I'm like,
get out from behind the desk a little bit.
Right. And I'm furiously texting like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And, then of course the day goes on, but that's how my day started.
I take offense to that.
What? I'm so confused.
He got it.
And, but yeah, so I'm like, all right, day's going, whatever, no big deal. Sure. Day goes on. Then
I take offense to that.
Okay. Then, so if anyone is old enough to understand that movie reference from these old geezers, you can put it in the chat.
Wow. Damn. Hey, it's going gray. I'm not that old. Yeah, I am.
You're older than me, which means you're old. Like, I can't be like Phil's old because, Phil's a child.
Literally, we do the freaking, we share the podcast stuff, and all I ever get from one of my former partners, she'll text me or something. She'll be like, "Damn, that gray's looking whiter every day. Get more of that gray." I'm like,
that's right. Freaking, I did a TikTok video the other day, and somebody, like, I guess one of my, like, gray hairs in the beard was, like, the way the camera angle was in the lighting, it was like, boom, let me just shine bright. And, yeah, they're like, yeah, dude, you really just need to, like, pluck that thing. And I'm like, fuck you. I'm like, yep, I am putting it in there to make sure you stare at it. Here you go. But yeah, no, like, so that was the first portion of my day. And then the second portion of my day was the call that I was talking with Butch about early on, where this lady literally walks up to me in the supermarket and was like, yeah, I need you to, like, check me out. I'm like, okay. So
wait, what?
Yeah, like,
what she look like?
You're like, hey, how you doing?
Right. How you doing?
Hey, how you?
If she was about 40 years younger, I think it would have been okay to be like, how you doing? But she was like 75, and that just things.
Well, see, but you have to quantify shit like that before you say it. You have to be like, well, the 75-year-old came up and said, I don't feel good. Can you check me out? Because you just come, like, some lady in the store comes up to me and says, hey, can you check me out? I'm like, what she look like?
You should know, if it's a story from me, it's definitely not a good story.
It's like, I've never had one come on to me like that, but hey, fucking A.
Yeah, paramedic uniform did it.
The grandma's like Phil. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And yeah, so like it was really interesting. I ended up getting this like wonky, weird EKG that I was like, I'm pretty sure this is what it is, but I ended up, after the call consulting with the Maha Butchie, and there's how his consulting business started. And
I'm Scarbosa.
Hey, I need to first off go into the chat here because I'm getting called out. You are 100% right, Rick. I did turf a BLS call to you today, and my day did not get any better. So Yes, I was so mean to you. But yeah, so if anyone is interested in seeing what the heck that EKG looked like, it's going to be in the Discord, in the call reviews, probably tomorrow. I'm going to scan them in and upload them up there. Just, I'm intrigued to see what other people have to say about them. Cause yeah, it was a weird, there was like depressions everywhere, but no elevations, but there was some wonky leads and there were some inverted P waves and some weird J points. It was all over the place. And
myocarditis?
Who knows? But the weirdest thing was she was completely asymptomatic with, blood pressure through the roof.
Then what prompted her to come over to you and say, "Would you check me out?"
The fact that she had symptoms 2 hours prior to walking up to me. So it was just kind of weird,
Because when I had chest pain, I always say, you know what I should do? I should go to the fucking supermarket and find a paramedic.
It's funny you say that, because even I was like, so why are you here? Once I knew where she drove from, I was like,
what is it you do here?
Right. I was like, why are you here?
You work here?
And she's like, well,
Excuse me, Sonny, could you check me out? I had chest pains 2 hours ago.
She was really funny. She's like, I drove here from my house because I didn't have aspirin and I wanted to buy aspirin. And I bought aspirin. I took 2 of them or 3 of them, however many she took. And then she walked outside and boom, my truck was there. So
boom.
Yeah, like
boom.
They were probably all 325s too.
I didn't. Yeah, like it is what it is.
Man, here's my number, 911. Call it next time.
Right. And yeah.
Will I get you? Yeah.
Absolutely.
But yeah, no.
If you don't get me, you'll get someone look just like me.
gray beard and all.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Angry eyebrows and everything.
Hey, watch out. Watch the angry eyebrows.
Ooh, down to the cherries.
Oh man. Good thing you got Yosemite.
Oh yeah, he's waiting.
Get me started on angry eyebrows.
Oh, now I need to know. What does Phil have to say about angry eyebrows?
Well, he's got something to say. First of all, he's got words.
Right?
True.
Yeah. Hold on. Is this so epic that I'm gonna hit your theme song? That's what I'm gonna do. You're gonna talk to your theme song. Okay, go ahead.
When I first ever said, "Hey, I like your podcast," and I thought you wanted to like rip me apart, like rip my arms off.
Oh, I thought this was like angry eyebrows, another thing, not
just something new.
Not just about me being a douchebag. I'm always a douchebag. It's fine. That is true though.
Got me all excited. I'm like, oh, something new.
I know. I was thoroughly excited. Like, oh man, maybe he got angry eyebrowed or something like that. And then you just bring up me. But here you are. Look,
I don't know about angry eyebrows, but I got an angry eyebrow.
But from those initial angry eyebrows, you've become a Patreon. You've become like a,
I get my own fancy nickname now.
Yeah, you get your own like fancy nickname.
He's become a gnome, hasn't spoken words,
right?
He gets to be an integral part of the podcast and the show.
Right.
Like
it represents the dorm crowd.
This is my work dorm, not my home dorm.
His home dorm looks about the same.
Right.
There's just a Dungeons and Dragons thing on the wall.
Right, and
it's funny you say that.
And the smoke detector's in the other spot.
We love you, Phil.
I know. Oh.
We wouldn't have you here if we didn't love you.
Oh, someone's talking to Phil. Hold on now.
People are
Knuckles
talking to
are
Phil.
out. He's got his knuckles showing.
He has knuckles showing.
Oh man. Oh, let's see. I'm reading through the chat. I had my
he's going knuckles deep.
He's going. Phil's new nickname is Knuckles.
Oh my God.
Yo, Knuckles.
Still Knuckles.
Yo, Knuckles.
You were saying?
So what? Yeah, one of the one of the people in the chat, they said I had my fire chief sleep through a call once. Yep, I've been there, done that. Like,
Nice.
I think that was somebody's job. I think that was Phil's job. I'm not sure if he's supposed to say those words, but
yeah. Well, Phil wasn't when it popped up, so it's all right. I'll
yeah, he was. He wasn't saying words.
Him. Yeah, he usurped his authority.
He needed an interpreter. So
I don't know. He's looking at like 15 screens right now. I wouldn't push him too hard.
In a second, he's gonna start yelling, "Buy, buy,
sell, buy,
sell, pork
no,
bellies."
wrong chat.
This is how stocks work.
He's watching Family Guy over there.
Oh
right.
Man. Oh, I love it. So, Butch, you had something that you wanted to talk about. What was that?
So one of my other, like one of the things I do when I drive home, from work, I listen to like weird podcasts and stuff. And
that sounds eerily familiar.
Yeah. And like when I was a kid, my dad used to watch and read these books like on serial killers and like this weird shit. I think he's so weird. Listen to this stuff. So oddly enough, I was listening to these weird podcasts about serial killers today. And they were talking about last meals of serial killers, like in prison, like before they go to death row.
Yep.
It's like these weird, and I thought to myself, oddly enough, what do you think Jeffrey Dahmer's last meal would have been in prison?
I know what he wanted, but he probably didn't get it.
I'm sure he didn't.
There was a sick thought that popped in my brain.
I would have just given him like 10 hot dogs and said, "Here you go, bud."
What do you think he would have wanted? Yeah, it was a weird thought that popped in my brain.
Now, I'm pretty sure that someone could Google this and actually find out what his last meal was. But
to be fair,
his last meal was a broomstick because he got shit in prison.
Well, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just thinking, what do you think he would have asked for, like his last meal in prison? That would have been, it was a sick thought I had.
Dicks. I want dicks. Give me more dicks.
Yeah.
But hold on, did he actually eat those?
He ate the dicks.
Or did he just eat?
He cannibalized like a lot, like I don't know, like 12 guys or something. Yeah.
Right. No. I know that.
They found.
But what parts did he eat?
They didn't find any dicks.
Yeah.
All right. See, I didn't know that.
Next time you go get a nice Nathan's, you're gonna look at it and go,
This was for you, Jeffrey.
That's why you put everything on top of it.
Right. Whoops.
You just hide the weenie under all of the accoutrements, and then you don't have to look at it. So
that was my weird thought. Yeah, like what do you think he would have asked for in prison for his last meal if he made it all the way?
Seriously,
that's what he would ask for.
That's
probably
what
not
he
what
would
he's
ask
gonna
for.
get.
Right. What would he actually get though? I'm intrigued to find this out. Like burnt meat.
So this brings. Okay, so now this has intrigued me.
There,
so
see, yeah.
So what are some of these? What are some of these last meals? I know some guys want like a Big Mac and shit, and
hold on. I'm now you got me googling it because now I want to know. So
because I'm like,
there's some weird meals that people ask for. Like one dude asked for just a bag of Jolly Ranchers, and that's what they gave him for his meal.
All right, here we go.
Really?
Eileen Warnos, all she wanted was a cup of black coffee. That's all she wanted before she got fried. That was it. That's it. One dude ordered like 12 beef tacos, 12 quesadillas,
now that's my
pizza.
Now that's my guy. So
filet mignon.
For me,
ordered lobster tails. Like he ordered like a smorgasbord and ate all the shit. Like,
so if I couldn't get I didn't realize we ordered all that other shit, but like if I knew my time was gonna come and these were the motherfuckers that were gonna kill me, I'd be like, yeah, get me 10 burrito supremes, fucking a bunch of tacos, and a big canister of fucking prunes. Because when I go, it's gonna be messy.
So, all right. So I'm on a Google search here, and let's see. List25.com has 25 craziest last meal requests from death row. Number 25 is, and I don't know all of these people. There's a couple here that I do know, but like this one, no idea. Marion Albert Purette. Let's see.
No clue.
Yeah, I have no idea. He requested Pizza Hut stuffed crust pizza, 4 Burger King Whoppers, a large order of fries, 3 2-liter Pepsi bottles, fried eggplant, fried squash, fried okra, and a whole.
They have pork fried rice too.
Pork fried rice.
Eggplant.
This is why you can't let me read stuff. All
Did
right.
he get his shirt now? Did he pay now?
And let's see, and then he asked for a pecan pie.
He can. Yep.
Yep, a pecan pie, and
He can. Yep.
Yep,
He can.
a pecan pie. And,
Yep. He can. Yep.
And then he requested a roast duck, but they wouldn't cook that for him.
Really?
Yep.
That's ballsy.
Right. Let's see.
I'm like, well, then you ain't killing me then.
Let's see. Philip Workman is number 24
Whoa.
on the list.
Did Phil just say something?
I don't know.
I'm sorry. I thought
Did
Phil
Phil
just said
say
something. My bad.
No, you're
I
good.
thought I heard a whoa.
All right.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. We never get to hear from you, so.
Yeah. Seems like I'm named after a serial killer then.
Oh, well, it could be. So this guy, Phil, asked the prison to give a large vegetarian pizza to a homeless person in Nashville,
What?
declining his own meal. Though the prison refused, many other people across Tennessee fulfilled his wish and brought hundreds of pizzas to homeless
Hold on.
shelters on his execution day.
Hold on. But that dude was a complete dick for asking for that.
Vegetarian.
Yeah,
pizza.
vegetarian
Pizza to a homeless guy
Right.
who's living on fucking Mad Dog 2020. He wants to eat fucking broccoli. Come on, dude.
All right. So here's
Get
one
a boy a calzone.
Here's one that we all know. Ted Bundy asked. Let's see. Oh no, he declined a special meal, so he was given the standard last meal of a medium rare steak, eggs over easy, hash browns, toast with butter, jelly, milk, and juice. And it said that he did not actually eat it.
Hold on. This is what they're serving in prison?
Yeah, man. 3 hots and a cot, man.
Dude,
Yeah,
he should have got a fucking ham sandwich and some orange juice.
Nope.
The end.
3 hots and a cot, man. All right, let's see. That one's
Another,
not really
another
all that
one that I
great.
listened to was like
Oh,
last words of people.
Yeah.
That's another creepy one. Like their last words. They had this dude in Germany that got killed.
Yeah.
He was called the Vampire of Dusseldorf, and you don't want to.
hey!
You don't want to know why he was called that, but before he was, this is how sick the motherfucker was. Before he was killed, his last words were, "Tell me, after my head is chopped off, will I still be able to hear, at least for a moment, the sound of my own blood gushing from the stump of my neck? That would be the pleasure to end all pleasures."
Wow.
Those sound
You know
like
what you know what you do? You just tell him, yeah, you will. Whack.
Yeah.
There are some weird
But
ones on this
my
list.
the famous last words I always loved was that dude from the Civil War, the one that was the regiment commander, whatever the fuck, where he's like, "Come on, boys, they couldn't possibly hit us from."
Yep.
That was it. That's all he got out before he got shot.
So
Yeah,
okay.
these last meals are pretty crazy, aren't they?
I got to keep going because there's some really weird ones. But if you're willing, I would throw into the chat what you would order for your last meal. I want to see what people would say. So this guy Thomas Grasso, he ordered a hefty meal: 2 dozen steamed mussels, 2 dozen steamed clams, half a
That was on
dozen
the list,
barbecue
Of course, he's
spare
fucking
ribs.
Italian.
Burger King double cheeseburger, 2 strawberry shakes, half a pumpkin pie with whipped cream and diced strawberries. He also ordered a 16-ounce can of spaghetti and meatballs. However,
he deserved to die.
He
Fuck him.
complained that he was given SpaghettiOs.
hey, motherfucker, you're dying.
Yep. This
It's
guy,
not really going to matter in 5 minutes.
This guy, James Edward Smith, asked for a pile of dirt. His request was denied, and he was given a cup of yogurt.
That's because he was a voodoo worshiper, and they thought he could do some voodoo on the prison, so they wouldn't give him the dirt.
Really?
Oh, man.
Sweet.
See, I would have done like Serrano. I'd have been like, I want a bucket of fried chicken.
Yep. We should give him a live chicken.
I'm gonna get a bucket of fried chicken, and I'm gonna put a curse on these motherfuckers.
Timothy,
we gotta hold on, gentlemen. We have a comment.
He's saying words.
I'm speaking full sentences, actually. The World War II girl said probably something with Old Bay seasoning on fries, and she doesn't know what else.
Ooh, Old Bay seasoning on fries. I gotta try that.
So I was watching.
So as far as seasonings goes, I've really become addicted to this stuff called Slap Your Mama.
So get this. I was watching
this shit's great.
Dude, I was watching an episode of Dirty Jobs the other day, right? Because my kids love it. And Mike Rowe went to this place called J&O Seasonings. It's in Baltimore. And he
made it out alive?
Yeah.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah. This was probably the nice side of Baltimore. He's originally from Baltimore, you know.
There's a nice side of Baltimore?
Yeah, there is, right by the waterfront, where like the restaurants and the ballpark are. The rest of Baltimore, yeah, but there is actually a nice section. But yeah, so the guy who runs J&O like seasonings actually said,
is he J or O?
It's neither. It's his grandpa's initials.
He's the and.
Yeah. So yeah, he's the and, right? So he actually said that people think that like all of the crab seasoning and everything is Old Bay, and only like 10% of all of the restaurants on the Eastern Seaboard actually utilize Old Bay, and they actually use his stuff. So like what you think is seasoned with Old Bay is actually seasoned with J&L. I thought that was really interesting because everyone's like, "Oh, look, red stuff on crab. It's Old Bay," and it's not. In most cases.
That's pretty cool. But if you like stuff with like a little kick, and you like Old Bay and that kind of stuff, so you know something instead of Old Bay on like your seafood, get this stuff. It's called Slap Your Mama. It's like a Cajun kind of seasoning. Oh man, it's just like I'm putting it on like all my fucking seafood like for the past week. Because, we get a lot of seafood down here now.
Yep.
And it's fresh, right out of the water.
Must be nice.
Yeah. Well, it was 84 degrees yesterday, and it's about 75 today.
Nobody cares. Nobody
blue
likes
skies, fighter jets flying around all day, freaking making noise.
Oh.
Sounds of freedom.
Okay. All right. So I got a couple quick ones. Timothy McVeigh asked for 2 pints of mint chocolate chip ice cream.
Yep.
Victor. He deserved to die. He's a punk.
I'm just apparently.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Anyone who orders two pints of mint chocolate chip ice cream as their last meal, you're a punk anyway. So, see ya.
Let's see. This guy named Victor Figuer, Feguer. He asked for 1 olive, a single olive. And
where did he put that?
Do you pronounce that for him, would you?
Olive.
Figuer.
Sure.
Yeah, it's Italian.
Yeah. Or it could be French. Who knows? This guy asked for an assortment of Jolly Rogers.
Into the vowel, it's Italian.
Let's see. This one was.
I had some suspicion. Yes.
Okay. So a guy that I actually can say his name, a Gary Carl Simmons Jr., has kind of the weirdest one.
Isn't that a burger place in California?
Right?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So,
no relation.
I think I had a burger there once.
This guy orders 1 Pizza Hut Supreme deep dish pizza with double mush.
What's in the pizza?
Just
I mean, not this Pizza Hut,
but at least get a good one.
This thing's like this long. Hold on.
Get a good one.
So,
Pizza Hut. It's disgusting.
I
Wait a minute. Why are my hands covered in
the
black?
box? What did you do?
Gerard, what happened?
What blew up? Oh. Have fun with that. So while Gerard is getting the ink off of his fingers, let's see. This guy orders 1 Pizza Hut Supreme deep dish pizza with double mushrooms, double onions, double jalapenos, double pepperoni, a second pizza with 3 cheeses, olives, bell peppers, tomatoes, garlic, Italian sausage.
I got it on the donut.
Oh no. Your wife's going to kill you.
Shit.
10 8-ounce packs each of Parm cheese and ranch dressing, 8 ounces of jalapeno nacho cheese, 4 ounces of sliced jalapenos, 2 20-ounce cherry cokes, 2 large strawberry shakes, 2 pints of strawberry ice cream, and 1 large family-sized bags of Doritos nacho cheese.
Hold on. All that and only 2 20-ounce Diet Cokes?
Yep.
Or cherry Cokes?
Cherry Cokes.
He's watching his figure.
Yes.
Right. He needs to be
They
able
want
to
Diet
fit in the
Coke?
casket.
It would have been funny if you ordered Diet Coke. I'm like, boy, are you optimistic?
Yeah. You gotta watch my girl's figure before I die.
Right? Do you really think it matters?
Well, you know, I got this plate that runs under my head.
Yeah.
All right, so the
My
last
hair just won't look right.
The last one, Lawrence Russell Brewer. This is number 1 on the list for strangest, so we'll see. He asked for a massive helping of food: 2 chicken fried steaks, sliced onions dripping in gravy, a triple meat bacon cheeseburger with everything on the side, 1 cheese omelet with ground beef, tomatoes, onions, bell peppers, and jalapenos, a big bowl of fried okra with ketchup, 1 pound of barbecued meat and half a loaf of white bread, 3 fajitas with all the toppings, a Pizza Hut, again, Pizza Hut, meat lovers pizza.
Half a loaf of white bread? Why not the whole fucking loaf?
Hey, he doesn't want to gorge himself, you know?
Right. I don't know.
Oh, I don't want to be greedy.
Let's see. A Pizza Hut meat lovers pizza, a pint of Bluebell vanilla ice cream.
Why do people get Pizza Hut? It's garbage.
I swear that Pizza Hut is in the weirdest locations ever, right? They're probably just next to the prisons. Like, they're probably just there. I don't know. A slab of peanut butter fudge with crushed peanuts on top and 3 root beers.
Oh, okay. So you get a little extra to drink.
Yeah.
All right. I was going to say, how are you going to wash all that down?
I don't know.
You don't have a tasty beverage.
The toilet water, you know?
But
Oh, you
yeah,
probably had some Pruno left over, yeah.
Yeah.
but yeah, apparently people, people have some strange cravings. I don't
I
know.
don't know. Last meal, dude, like, I don't know, man. That's a toughie. I couldn't even imagine.
I don't know. I'd have to go with I think I'd have to go with my wife's chili, a bowl of that, because it's so scrumptious. Those barbecued bacon wrapped shrimp that I make.
Yes.
Those.
So basically, you're going to be making your own.
Yes, just give me the tools to make my own
Right.
stuff, and I'll be quite
And
happy.
I'll break out of prison. No, wait.
Right. Hey, I got to make these shrimps here. You wouldn't happen to have a file, would you?
I got to have a barbecue grill and
and a smoker.
utensils.
And a screw gun.
I need an impact wrench. And,
Preferably.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, totally.
Pickaxe.
A pickaxe. I wonder, give me the largest cake in the world so you can
Right.
stick all like an excavator in it. Yeah, just go all out.
Oh man, yeah, that's a tough one, dude. Like what the fuck would you want to go out tasting in your mouth? I don't know.
Maybe those Dahmer dicks. I don't.
Yeah, something tells me it probably didn't taste that good.
I mean,
According to the World War II girl, historically lobster used to be a prison food until one of the guards discovered it was actually really good and stopped giving it to prisoners.
They fed it. Yeah, they fed it to prisoners, and I think the first place they started feeding it to them was Australia, and then they were doing it here too. So
now see,
yeah, good stuff. But
I don't know.
My hot take for the night: I'm not a big fan of lobsters. Like, I'd rather crab. I don't know. I feel like crab has more taste and is less
So
rubbery
I think I would go with
than
I
lobster.
think I would go with Alaskan crab leg, king crab leg,
So good.
drawn butter. Might as well make it a pint. 'Cause I want a
yeah.
big old fucking thing of king crab legs. I think I would go with the fruit de mer, the freaking get the whole Italian mix there going. Some spaghetti, maybe get some raviolis on the side so I can kind of play the whole field. But cannoli.
Oh, you got to have a cannoli.
You know?
There's a bakery right down the road from us here that's absolutely
Now by
divine.
right down the road you mean like 36 miles in one direction?
No, it's about 10, 12 minutes.
Okay.
It's right down the road.
Oh,
and
okay.
yeah,
It's an actual store. It's not like a like a donkey cart or something, right?
No. This is like an actual like French little bakery.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely divine stuff for being out in the middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, goodness. But
I found one up the mountain in Wyndham that was really good. And it was a French dude, and it was like and like who'd have thought you'd have stuff like this, in a place like that?
Yeah.
I'm just phenomenal.
sad that this guy doesn't have Italian pastries. They're only French pastries. So I can never get a goddamn cannoli. Like, I bet they would be so good.
Yeah, you should probably move to where there's people.
I mean, I don't want to live where there's people. That's the problem.
I don't either, but like I want to live where, like near stuff. I can get to it if I have to.
I'm near stuff.
Barely.
Hey, I have better internet here living in the middle of nowhere than I did living in town. All right.
That is true.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Oh, the place I took Jeet to down here by me,
Oh yeah, that was great.
That place, yeah.
Yeah, that fucking place was great. So while we're talking about food, this kind of brings me to this thing I saw while we were off camera there in the beginning. So it's one of these things where like you see something and you're like, man, why the fuck didn't I think of that? So all I did was see the headline, and as soon as I read the headline, I was like, why the fuck didn't I ever think of that? And it's this woman who's bitching and complaining because, she's entitled and, mommy told her she was special. And the headline reads, "A man ate a rack of ribs next to me on a plane. Wait, it gets worse." I'm like, worse? Holy fuck, why didn't I ever think about bringing barbecue on a fucking plane? God damn, what a great idea.
I mean, that is a sensational idea right there.
Right? Yes. I would sit right next to somebody and just be like,
Yeah.
Let me get your napkin.
Right? Oh, my God.
I got ribs, bitch.
Excuse me, Stuart. I speak jive.
That would be phenomenal. Yeah, why?
I laid the bone,
especially now with all of the freaking like restaurants and stuff within the terminals and stuff. Like you can actually get a barbecue dinner at
oh, dude, a Texas Roadhouse in an airport terminal. Ooh. Could you imagine the smell? And then the fucking biscuits and shit, the little bowls you get. Oh my God.
Bring a slab of prime rib on there, just like, pardon me while I whip this out.
Right, excuse me. Right. So tonight we'll be serving chicken and fish and the in-flight meal. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah. So
prime rib.
Again,
I brought my own.
When you come up here, I have a barbecue joint that I have to take you to that I found. It is.
You should come here for barbecue.
Well, yes. Agreed. But for New York barbecue, this is pretty slamming.
Dude, I went into this fucking. It's half of it's a fish market, and I don't mean like, like it's fish market, but like, like a fish store.
Yeah.
where they just have a couple of little things in the window and like catch of the day shit. And the other half is a restaurant. And I don't mean like, Shea Whitey kind of restaurant. I mean like, the cash register is up there, you go up, make your order, sit down, and they'll yell out your fucking name when it's time to come pick it up. So I go up to freaking make the order and just got like a seafood mix, the catfish and some shrimp and some scallops and shit, all from, right out in the water. And as opposed to catfish, shrimp, and scallops that are on land. I said that, but
I was literally just thinking, like, where else would they be?
Woo,
Not
that's
in the
fucking
water?
Stupid. But it was awesome. I mean, for all intents and purposes, the place doesn't seem to be like a very. You would never think it was like a clean or, like a well-to-do kind of establishment. It just kind of like a step up from fast food, shall we say?
Right.
I'm sitting there, I look up, and it's like never judge a book by the cover, because hanging on the wall behind the where they do all the food prep and stuff, a score of 100 A+ from the fucking Board of Health for their for the food and shit. Like
Yep.
you can't even get that at a fucking McDonald's.
Right.
And I was like, holy shit.
Dude.
And like it had like a date that wasn't very long ago. So I'm like, holy crap. Dude, the food was fucking amazing.
I love hole in the wall joints. So like when I went down to Tennessee, Jess and I were like, we're gonna get barbecue. Like we took a day, we gave the boys to my parents and stuff, and because it was a big family trip, and we just went out gallivanting by ourselves, and we were like, we're hungry, we want barbecue, and I was like, let's do it. So we're googling all the barbecue places, and this one's got great reviews, but it's on the main drag. This one's got great reviews, but again, it's right next to all the hotels. And I'm like, I want you to find the one that's like 15 miles out in the sticks. That's got like 100.
You're driving a rental car, right?
Yeah. And,
okay.
And so she
with Tennessee plates, right?
I don't know. I don't remember. I think oh no, they were Massachusetts place. So we could drive as dickish as we wanted because we were massholes for a week. So
I was gonna say you're going out in the sticks to get something to eat, boy, but
right. So we end up finding this place, and we drive out about 20 miles outside of town, and we are in like Stickville. Next thing you know, we drive up this little like dirt road, and boom. Now we pull up into this, we pull up into this little driveway, and it's the first house of barbecue is like in a shed, and then it's got an attached shed to the first shed. Like the first shed is where they do all of their meal prep and stuff, and then the second shed is like their dine-in area. So I'm like, this is perfect. This barbecue is going to be phenomenal. So we order, the sampler platter, some other stuff, and they're like, to go or eat here. And I'm like, oh no, we'll eat here, and they're like, oh, it's right through that door. And we're like, all right, so head through the door. And
would you like a calendar?
No. This place was even better, right? This is Tennessee South Bible Belt country. You walk in, and what is it? It's barbecue / the town church. No, it's / the town church. So like they have Bible study there on Sundays. So like everything is decked out like a church, but like there's tables in the middle where you're like eating your barbecue and stuff. And there's like just Jesus everywhere, like everywhere.
Jesus.
And I'm like, this is exactly what and it was by far the best barbecue I've ever had in my entire life. Like,
well,
it was Jesus.
Apparently Jesus approved of it. So
I don't go to church, but I'm sorry, I would go to that place if they're going to serve me like, yep, let's open your gospel to page 57 and here's a plate of ribs. I'd be like,
you got barbecue stains on the hymnals and everything. And like,
tell me more.
I don't know. Just
be like, yep, I'm all in. Let's
all right,
go.
And now we're gonna sing the next hymn. Go tell it on the mountain.
Yep, baptize me in that slushy barbecue juice, I'm all for it. Mm-mm.
Right.
You want to be baptized the Carolina sauce or the Texas?
You don't go up and take a sip of wine. It's a sip of barbecue sauce.
Oh,
And it's a
man.
buttermilk biscuit, not a wafer.
Oh,
Yeah.
it'd be so good.
Oh, shit. That'd be
It would-
awesome. I would go to that church in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
You want to get me to go back to church? That's how you do it.
that's how you
That's
do
Church
it.
barbecue and biscuits.
Yep, there you go.
That's the Sunday
With
sermon,
Jim
barbecue and biscuits.
Beam instead
Yep,
of
suddenly we all show up at church again.
Yep.
Go.
Oh, it would
Yeah.
be it was phenomenal. But yeah,
Wow.
like I love those little like podunk places. I came back with like
Yeah.
3 of their bottles of barbecue sauce.
Yeah, growing up, we had the town I grew up in, because I did grow up. I mean, technically, Florida's the South, but it and most of the place where I lived, it was kind of still like the South. It didn't turn into like Miami until you got a little further south down the line from me. But we had this. Yeah, there was like this big banyan tree in an open field. A couple little lawn chairs sitting there, and the old dudes would be sitting there, drinking their Ripple, during the day. And right next to it was this like, I don't know, maybe 20 foot by 20 foot, if that, just like square cement blockhouse with a window and a door, and that was it. The smell that would come out of this thing and out from behind it all day long would, like, you'd walk and it was like the old Looney Tunes cartoon where all of a sudden they just started floating through the air with the sniffing the smell, and it would just drag them wherever it wanted to go. That's what it was like. It was like, oh my God, that smells fucking delicious. About 3-4 o'clock, lines start forming, and the line goes around down the block, and they start serving it up. Ribs. No brisket, no freaking none of this, just ribs.
Yep.
Just ribs. And fuck, man. Within a few hours, that was it. So, and the rule was, we only making a certain amount, and you don't get here in time to get it,
Shit out of luck.
you're asked out.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
Shit out of luck.
yeah. So, but oh my God, but the greatest, I mean, like they had stories done about the Tom's Place and stuff. Oh my God. It was like people would come up from Miami to go to this place to get their ribs. It was that good. So I know what you mean. Yeah, no, little places those are the shit.
Yeah, man.
You know?
So I have to take a sidebar here because it's really bothering me, Gerard. But every time you just got to keep your hands low, because every time you raise up your fingers, it looks like I look like, I see your ink hand, and I just think that you've been jerking off an octopus or something. Like it's bad.
See, I would have went straight to like a pen. I would have thought about a pen incident before I went to like octopi masturbation.
No.
He's working on the art of pulling octopus off faces.
Right. I'm training our next octopus for the next class.
Right.
Training him in the art of anti-pulling. He got away from me.
I was gonna say I had to beat it off, but then that goes back to the jerking off the octopus thing. So
Yep.
Yeah, well,
those darn English words, I'll tell you.
I know. Yeah.
So all right. As I finish my first beverage here, I want your guys' opinion on this. So I alluded to, my bad day earlier, and I said that I had brought in my patient, which, we kind of know a little bit about, but that's not, the patient is not the issue here. So when Emily finally when Emily finally joins us, she's out.
Yeah, when the fuck is that ever going to happen?
Well, so she was working last week.
Uh-huh.
And she's in Boston this week. So
that's where she got the pad cast from.
Yeah, that's right. So hopefully next week she will be here. But I'm hoping to have a segment, because one of the greatest things that Emily always says is nurses are bitches. And And she proves it over and over and over on the podcast. And I think it would be a hilarious segment here on Fridays.
Nurses
Story,
are bitches.
Nurses are bitches.
Yes,
so,
it's a great idea.
So I am going to give the first story of Nurses are bitches for Emily's segment.
All right.
So today I drop off my patient, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we go, they give us a room before we get there. Awesome. We walk in, we go to our room. The tech comes in and she's like, "Hi, this is my name. I'm not the nurse. I'm just here to do this, and that." I'm like, "Yep, sure, whatever. Like, I can wait. No big deal." And the charge nurse comes around after we've waited 5-6 minutes. And the charge is like, "Is anyone come over and talk to you?" And I'm like, "Nope." She's like, "Okay." So she goes over to the nurses station and whatnot. And she's like, "Yo," and literally yells to this, flock of nurses just sitting there doing nothing. And she's like, "Yo, somebody come and, take a report for these guys. Cause, clearly, no one's doing their job." And I'm like,
"No, we're the sideshow."
I'm like, "Cool." So,
Yeah.
So a nurse comes over and,
"Oh my God, I have to do my job. Hold on.
well,
I need a moment."
Oh, it gets so much worse.
I wasn't even there and I already know what the fuck happened.
Yeah. So this nurse isn't the patient's nurse. She's covering, right? The nurse that actually has this room is with another patient down the hall doing something, critical or whatever.
Right.
And so, yeah, she's like, she comes in and the tech had just literally taken a blood pressure. Now, of course, it's like 205 over whatever because she's been hypertensive this entire time. And the tech and I had a conversation like, yeah, that's been her norm. It's not out of the ordinary. Just leave it. And so the nurse walks like right by me, doesn't introduce herself, doesn't do anything, like doesn't have a piece of paper, nothing like that. Walks right past me, right to the monitor, and starts fiddle fucking with the thing to like redo it because she thinks it's, not an erroneous blood pressure.
Wow.
And I'm like, "Miss, like that's actually normal. Like, just had this conversation." And she literally like whips her, stupid little dumb ponytail around and she's like, "Yeah, I don't need your story. Just tell me a report." And I was like, "Oh,
that's what a report is."
I was like,
"Oh,
really?" And I was like, so me being the bite your tongue person in this instance, I was right. So I was like, so I'm sitting there, and I'm like, okay. And she's like, "Yeah, I have like a patient, like down the hall that's on pressers, and I don't need to be here. I'm just here to get your report."
Oh.
Then find someone who
And you're saying this in front of the patient. Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. I'm going to take this patient back out of the room, okay? Because I'm not turning this patient over to you.
Right. So literally, I'm sitting there and I'm watching my patient's like eyes change because she's like, "Oh, great."
Because now nobody cares
me.
about her.
Bingo. Right. So instead of making a scene and doing exactly that of like, "Yeah, you can just leave and I'll just wait until the actual nurse comes here and I'll give a report to them." I very calmly, gave my report and, this, that, the other thing as she's not even looking at me, logging into her damn computer. And then I looked at the patient and I was like, "Listen, use their name, blah, blah, blah." I was like, "I wish you the best of luck. And you know what? I'm going to go find your real nurse and tell her, tell that dude," because it was dude nurse that they were calling for. I was like, "I'll go find that dude and bring him over so you can get rid of this bitch." And she smiled and I just walked away. Like, I said it to the patient, not the lady. But are you freaking kidding me? Like, yeah.
Nope.
And how many times does that happen
I'm telling you, dude.
place?
I'm telling you.
Crazy.
It happens with doctors too.
It's because but it's because none of them have any sort of responsibility to spend any amount of time on an ambulance as an observer. And that's the problem. they want to use we're the healthcare team. We're the part of their team. We're the fucking team. Bull, you ain't fucking shit. Okay, it's us and them. Okay, they don't come into our world, but we have to do clinical rotations with them and get treated like fucking shit. We have to fucking go and deal with them every fucking time we go into a hospital and get treated like shit. We stand there up against the wall. They walk by and fucking, we're the sideshow. It's tee-hee, they're still standing there.
Yeah.
All right? So why the fuck aren't they mandated to come ride with us? So they can see what the fuck we deal with.
Yep. And not even,
because my whole thing about nurses changed, because unlike most people today, I actually was an EMT for a little while, and more than like a month, and so I had experience dealing with nurses going in and out of hospitals, and see you next Tuesday kind of shit. But then when I did my rotations in the hospital, doing my clinical time, I was like, oh shit, I'm never gonna fucking say another bad word to these bitches.
Right.
Because like they got a lot of shit going on, and I fucking
and that's
wow.
it. Like I try and
change of mind.
Right. I try and be very respectful to these people, because like I watched my wife suffer in a crowded ER, in the psych section, down in a southern city from here, and she had like 25 patients to herself. Yeah. Like it's miserable. So I always try and be, like, I get it. It's overwhelming. We have one patient. You have 5, 6, 10 that are all sick. Like, it's overwhelming. I get it. I give them a lot of slack. But when you come over and you're just a bitch, like, there is no need for that. And I'm sorry, if like your one patient that's really bad is just on pressers, I'm sorry, like, you have a weird outlook on what's really bad.
Right. And so it's like, oh, okay, so you're incompetent then. You don't trust yourself. Okay, good. No.
They run pressers on a pump anyway. You just put in the info, turn it on, boom, there you go.
Bingo.
And guess what else? And guess what else they're doing it? They're setting it to doctor's orders.
Exactly.
They're not coming up with that shit themselves.
Right.
So like we do. But anyway.
I remember walking into a hospital one time with somebody on dopamine, and you thought I had, shot their foot off. And they're like, "Why is he on a pump?" Because I know how to do math. I mean, it's not that hard.
Yeah. No, but seriously,
go back when we used to have dopamine, but
if
too many stupid people to have dopamine.
See, if she said that shit in the hallway, and it was just her and me. I may have done what you did. Maybe I would have been a little more sarcastic. But the fact that she said that kind of shit in front of the patient, that right there to me, sorry, you can leave. You can send somebody in here who actually has a clue.
Yeah, gives a rat's behind about patients.
Because I'm not turning this patient over to you. You're incompetent. And you're unprofessional. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And if you don't like what I have to say, you can send your fucking charge over here. I'll talk to her.
Right. And that was one thing that I did on my way out was, the charge saw me walk right by her, and the charge was awesome. She's like, "Oh yeah, you someone came in, got a report," and I was like, "Oh, just wait." It's like, and this is what happened, But yeah, like, there's always that moment where like I want to snap, and then I kind of talk myself out of it. Like the filter clicks, and I'm like, oh wait, I have to be more professional than these buttholes. But like,
to a certain extent,
right? And that's the part that I said.
If it was in the hallway, and it was her and I, okay, we're gonna go in. Like I said, I might be a little more sarcastic, but I'll do what I have to do, and then give me your signature, and I'm out the door.
Yeah.
But the fact that she did that in front of the patient, that changes the whole fucking game. Because now you just made that patient feel like a piece of shit, like there's some kind of burden.
Right.
All right. I am not turning this patient over to you because I don't know what the fuck you're gonna do or what kind of fucking mood you're in.
Yeah.
So no, you can get the fuck out. Or if you want me to go, well, I'll take her back out. We'll go sit over by the wall again.
Right. Yeah.
And then you can explain to your charge nurse why we're doing that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've got enough years in here that I've literally I've had the conversations with nurses and doctors. Like, yeah, no, this doesn't work. We're going to change your attitude right now. I've done it. I know some. I know some. He's a witness to this. I've had these conversations.
I've been witness to it. I learned. That's how I learned to do it.
Yep. I don't deal with that crap. If they're going to be unprofessional, I'll be unprofessional.
It was like, I can say that.
I'll be professional back. I mean, I won't swear. I won't. I won't be.
No.
Like, I won't be unprofessional that way. But they'll learn that no, we're not going to talk this way to me. It's not going to happen.
You see, and that's the thing. Like, I could care less if they talk to me like that because again, whatever. But
and that's my point.
Or my patient, like,
right?
You're gonna give the patient the respect they deserve. Because I have the whole way.
You can disrespect me on the couch. I got a thick skin. I'm good.
Right.
You're not going to do this.
Like
you're not making my patient feel like they're some kind of burden to you.
Right.
Just because you have these little letters that say you're MD-RN doesn't make you any better than my paramedic. No. Right. Not gonna happen.
Yep. Yeah.
I have the education behind my name that this isn't gonna happen.
Well, even that.
I'll never forget that one. That freaking I go wheeling in the freaking patient with the IO, and I'm giving a report, and she sees the IO, and she goes, "Oh, I'm gonna start a line because I don't trust EMS IOs." And she goes, "Walk by," and had the patient not been in cardiac arrest, I might have bit my tongue. But I felt that was right in front of the whole fucking crash team. I thought that was a great time to set the mood. And that's what I did. And I said, "Really? You don't trust my IO? How many have you done this past year? Because I've done 7.
Mm-hmm.
And it was only like freaking March or April.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
and they can't even do them in the ER. That's a doctor skill.
Bingo.
So oops.
Right.
Well, like when you and I worked
his ass off when I said.
Well, when you and I worked a certain system, and they used to call us down all the time to help them work work codes, and they, we just be like,
intubate.
Put the doctor all the way to intubate, yeah, because they were like,
fact,
oh.
I'll never forget the one that freaking brought it was she was definitely dying from septic shock, but the freaking doc comes in and says, "Oh, we're gonna need a decompress her lung," because she was like, I'm trying to remember how it happened. So there was a fall involved, but either way, we had to do a needle decompression on her left side. And I watched the doc nowhere near the fucking landmarks, dude. And I'm just like, boom, pushes it in. He goes, "Okay, I'll be right back," and leaves the room. And I'm watching it start to come back out. I was like, we're gonna move that.
Oh.
Whoops.
Unfreaking real. Like.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that with Emily here each week, we'll have a plethora of nurses are bitches segments.
So Justin put in the comments for Butch, tell him about me at a certain nursing home when my son was riding with us.
Yeah, so a certain agency we work for, they allow us, juniors to ride along with us. I'm sure everybody here is aware of, the program. We went to a certain facility, and there was a lady there who was not very happy about being called there. She was having some mental issues that night, and she started dropping the N-bombs.
Oh, that's always good.
Yeah, and that didn't work out very well.
Yeah,
and we did. Yeah, she said she wasn't going to go with us if he was going to be part of the crew. So we said, okay, see you later, bye. And she wasn't. She said it quite several times with his 12-year-old son being there. So
the very last ketamine administration I made in New York State was because the guy decided, the drunk who was peaceful almost all the way to the hospital, decided to wake up and say that to my partner. F you, N-word. And I was driving. He was in the back. And that's when I stopped. I was like, okay. Now we got a problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
You
And,
go napping
Now you go night night.
I could literally see the hospital too. We were that close, but I knew my partner, who looks like a very thick Samuel L. Jackson, and I'm not even joking. But his face, you couldn't tell him apart. He had the mustache and everything going, and it wasn't necessarily. So it was the FUN word, and I was like, oh shit, and I slammed on the brakes, and I think at that time I was just gonna like turn around and be like, hey, knock it the fuck off, or I was gonna yell something. But that's when I heard my partner yell, yo man, shut the fuck up. I'm like, oh, this is gonna get bad real fucking quick. And yeah,
it's going down.
Yeah, it was great. Then I opened the back door and the dude looks at me and he's like, yo, fuck you, faggot. And I'm like, you found me out. You got me.
Take a nap.
I'm gonna call my fiance now and let her know, hey, you know what, I'm swinging for the other team. You got me. But yeah, no, that's the kind of shit I don't fucking tolerate. But
yeah,
but and nurses and shit, yeah, no, and the sad thing is I have a lot of friends who are nurses, and when I think about my friends, like Danielle, she's one of them, and like I don't ever see her being like that to like any of us,
right?
Or even treating a patient that way. She might get like pissy and upset, because she's having a bad day, but I don't think she'd ever do stuff like that.
Could you
So
imagine?
it's like, where are they getting these people from?
Could you imagine my wife treating someone like that?
No.
Like,
no.
It's
I'm not
incredible.
I don't. I've had some patients that have tried to test my patients, and they get like, and I get sarcastic with them to trying to break the mood or whatever, and it's like I had some dude one night he was just being a complete ass, like absolutely complete dick, and I'm trying to get basic demographics from him, like like name, date of birth, whatever, and he's like, fuck you, you asshole. So I'm like, so
Okay.
is that hyphenated or
Right.
I was like, I gotta know, because if you don't tell me a name, the hospital can't treat you. He's like,
with caps or no?
And speaking of Emily, she was my partner that night, and she just starts busting up laughing, driving to the hospital. So I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to be a dick, but you got to tell me something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, it's just sometimes you got to do what you got to do, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Like you hear about the nurse got punched in the face in the hospital, and then 17 security guards try to tackle him. Like, what did you in the back of the ambulance with one dude?
Yeah.
Oh, the guy punched me in the face.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. The nurse probably deserved it.
Welcome to Versed, buddy.
Yeah.
Yep. Take a nap.
No.
I love
it. Freaking. Yeah, I mean, and you get the ones that are on, they're high on shit, so that they're completely fucking gorked out of their minds, and you're some kind of fucking flying gargoyle to them, and you can't reason with them. And I've watched. When you're watching somebody do something and the outcome's going to be, you're just like, why are you wasting your fucking time? And I'm watching someone dealing with someone like that one time. I showed up as a second, and I'm like, why are you talking to this dude? Like, you can't reason with a drug.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't. You have to fucking establish some ground rules right off the bat that they can fully understand. And but yeah, it was like trying to talk all nice and like trying to be reasoning and so. And I'm just like, dude, tell the cops, put him on the fucking floor and lock him the fuck up. Before this becomes an issue. No.
Yeah,
but,
it is one of those things where I think the more that we do these Fridays, the more I think we're going to have segments like this where we're just a little bit peeved off at patients and staff.
I don't get necessarily peeved with patients.
I mean, no, I'm not
a certain few.
Right.
It's just bound to happen.
Right. And there
You
are
know?
definitely patients that have tried me and my patience.
Yeah.
And like, do you go out, you finish the call and you're like, oh my God, that was so annoying, and then you dread going back to that house. Sure. But,
Right.
how often does that realistically happen?
Right.
Like there, a provider today was telling me stories about, and I won't go into them, but they were telling me stories about they just got new hired. They were doing their OJT and they were telling their like how they've been interacting with their orientation crew of like EMT paramedic. And I'm just like, yeah, you need to like send something to pull their card. Like it was just mind baffling, what this provider's been dealing with. And I'm just like, it is crazy that there are so many good eggs in our business, but so many, I feel like, more exponentially bad eggs in our business, and
Yeah.
that's the thing that like education, like me doing education's trying to help,
But nobody wants to be an EMT anymore. They want to go straight to paramedic,
I
and
think
you're missing out on all that time of learning, number one, to humble yourself because you're not the big dick on the freaking scene. You need to learn to do what you're told. And then number two, you're learning how to interact with people in distress. They don't teach you. You can't teach that in a fucking classroom.
Right.
You can't teach that when you're, under somebody's wing in the field.
Yep.
You can't teach this shit. This is stuff you can only learn by doing. Okay. And all these people that are doing 0 to hero are missing out on that. And I would say out of every 10 that go through something like that, maybe you'll get 2 that can hack it afterwards.
Right.
The rest all turn out to be fucking morons and fucking assholes.
Yeah, no, it's true. And I literally had that conversation with a guy today. He's like, he was asking me when my next EMT class was. And then he's like, yeah, like, what do you think about me doing the paramedic right after? And I'm like, no. I'm like, if I found out what program you like, I flat out said, I was like, listen, if you're going to work in a busy agency, then maybe after a year, go for it. But if you're not working in a busy agency, then do your full first research. Be an EMT for 3 years, then go for it. And I think, like,
I guarantee you just wasted your breath on them.
I don't know. Who knows?
I've done it enough where I know that I will not. Anyone comes to me, hey, I'm thinking about should I go to paramedic school? Do whatever you want, man. Do whatever you want.
Well, that's because
I'm not going to waste another second trying to tell you the right way to do things because you're going to do it anyway.
Yes, and that's always that's always there as a possibility, But I don't know.
Look at the ones that work with these two. There's a certain someone there who and I'm not talking about yours. I'm talking about another one there that was like, oh, should I stay as an EMT or go to paramedic? And I was like, you need to be an EMT for a while, and then turn around. Oh, paramedic school.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like,
maybe it's just
complete waste. It could be. That could very well be.
The place that we, worked at before you decided to become a Southerner.
Boo.
They just want to drive an ambulance. They don't actually want to do EMT stuff. They just want to drive with the whoop-de-woos and be, and you're like, no, go do EMT skills. I'm not comfortable with that. Well, you better learn to be comfortable with it because you're doing EMT stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, use your skills. You went to school for this, use a skill.
Yeah. But, we all know
but
that
you've beat EMT out of the culture of being an EMT, though.
Right.
You've beat them into being a driver and a people mover.
Yeah.
And
they're they are
scared to peel the curtain back. Yeah, right. They're scared to do anything else. But peel the curtain back. So Tammy just got hired part-time over here at the EMS agency that in the county we live in, and she starts there next week. She did a little bit of ride time with them this past week, and she came back and was telling me this about this call, and I'm like, okay, and what it was a lady complaining of chest pain. I'm like, okay, and what did they do? She's like, yeah, they didn't give her any aspirin. I'm like, okay, why? Like, well, because they said she took aspirin, earlier. I was like, well, how earlier? And she said they never asked that question. Really?
8
Like, I
days
totally
earlier.
flustered the fuck out of her. I was like, really? And
Really?
and then she says, yep, they didn't give her any nitro. The lady took 2 nitro with no relief. And I was like, did she take them at the same time? When was the last time she took them? She said, they never asked.
Was the spray
And I,
seal?
and I said, really?
Really?
Then they met up with a paramedic. And the paramedic came in and she said, yeah, the paramedic came in and hooked her up to a monitor and said, everything looks okay.
BLS.
And left.
Oh.
And left. And I said, wait a minute.
You suck, you jackass.
Yeah. I was like, they did what? Female complaining of chest pain. She took 2 nitro and aspirin. Don't know when because we never asked. But here's the hint. She has nitro that's prescribed to her.
Right.
And she's complaining of chest pain.
Because clearly this never happens ever before.
And she was 140 systolic when they got to her after 2 nitro administrations. Where was it before that? And the paramedic's like, okay, well, she's okay. Bye.
These guys get a slow clap.
Yeah.
Like,
And I was like, no line, no nitro, no. Hey, you know what? I don't know when you took that aspirin. You can't tell me? Fine. Here, have some more. Because guess what? It's fucking aspirin.
did they do did they do a 12 lead or just like a 4 lead?
She says she did a 12 lead, but the way she described it, I'm kind of like, it almost sounds like they just ran a strip.
Oh my God. Yep. They got a heart rate. It's good. Yep.
Oh yeah, our heart's beating.
Peace.
Yeah, off you go.
Some pointy things on this piece of paper. They look fine.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
hold on. Most
Oh, the
important.
squigglies are squiggling.
Hold on. We're missing something on this call review here. The most important thing that we're missing. Was it a fire medic?
No. So I know it's hard to believe, and yes, I've been.
Jerking the octopus?
Yeah, jerking the octopus. I'll give you 15 minutes to cut that out. But the funny thing is down here, which, oh my God, if this concept ever caught on up there, I know a lot of people that'd be out of work. Yeah, so EMS is an essential service here, and it has to be provided to taxpayers. And of course, it's taxpayer expense, and then they, of course, do billing, which I still think is fucking stupid, to augment their tax dollars. Fire is not guaranteed. Fire is not an essential service here.
Really? But
You are guaranteed to call 911 and get an ambulance here. You are not guaranteed to get a fire truck.
Interesting.
It's exactly the opposite from New York.
Interesting. Now I know my parents in Maryland, they have like the fire tax. So like you have to pay the fire department to cover your house every year. Otherwise, they'll just sit there and be like, "Yep, we're gonna toast marshmallows on it."
So it behooves you to have a decent fire department in your coverage area, because here at different grade levels, it will affect how much your insurance costs for your house. So, like the town I'm in right now, they just got upgraded. I think there's 10 levels or so. I forget what it is, but number 1 is the highest. They just got upgraded to 4. So they're like, hey, everybody, next year, watch your insurance rates go down.
Yeah.
So it is in your best interest to have a robust fire department. So that way, you're not getting,
right, screwed out of money.
Squidded on the other end. So, but no. So EMS here is actually considered, more essential than fire, which this day and age I would probably agree with. Not that I have a dog in the hunt or anything, even though I do. but it's obvious to anyone who has half a brain, how many EMS calls do fire run versus how many fires. So,
Well,
there's that.
automatic alarms,
Yeah,
And someone has to answer them, but that's the thing, though. How many times? Oh, Chief's on his way to free go. Oh, yeah, stand everyone down.
Right.
It's nothing. It's just an alarm.
Right.
You don't have to take the truck off the floor. So,
I never understood that concept, like take the truck off the floor. That's just a stupid saying in my book. You're not lifting it off the floor. You're driving it off the floor onto a road. It's just stupid.
It's us turning a phrase.
Yes, I know, and it's a stupid one. I'm not saying English is stupid.
You're anti-semantic.
I don't know.
Hey, that sounds that am I.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. Remember, we're live here, people. Let's not go there.
I said you're anti-semantic.
Yeah, no. Butch was gonna go to the bad place.
Yeah, I did. I stopped myself though. I whoa it. I hit the brakes.
Oh, it's so crazy.
He's got a good muzzle. He's okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
His filter, the filter engaged. Yeah,
But,
it works once in a while.
It's
very seldom, but it works once in a while.
But yeah, I mean, it's your level of quality doesn't necessarily depend on where you're at.
Correct.
That kind of stuff. You can be in a place where, like here, where, she's like, oh my God, they want me to fucking put King Airways in. And I'm like, fantastic. I'll tell you exactly how to do it. You got nothing to worry about. This is going to be fantastic because now you get on a code. You run right to the fucking airway. If you hook your Lucas up, throw that fucking thing in. Now you can do continuous ventilation. You don't have to freaking do 30 and 2.
Yep.
And she's like, oh, that's great. And I'm like, cool. She's showing me this list of medications that EMTs are able to administer, and I'm just like, holy fuck. I mean, there's stuff on there that like, wow, I can't believe they let an EMT administer that. Okay, cool.
Well, now you got to tell us the list.
Yeah, now you have to.
Atropine.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. And an auto injector for organophosphate and nerve agent.
Interesting.
Yep. They can't do it for bradycardia.
Right.
But if it's suspected organophosphate poisoning or nerve attack, which
I can get behind that.
See that happening, but there's plenty of farms around here. So.
Right, and that's why, because of all the chicken farms.
But how much though? Because you need like a shit ton of atropine to counteract, organophosphate shit.
She says it's an auto injector. I don't know what their dosage is. I really don't.
I'm sure it's
a lot. A lot.
I'm sure it's not more than three. Who knows? But I mean, you know what?
Whatever
Good for them.
It's a start.
It always irked the crap out of me when I was in intermediate and the state came out with the new updated AEMT protocols. And I went to this class and they were like, yeah, you can do saline and you can do dextrose and you can do epi and Narcan and, cardiac epi and all of these different things. And then I get my actual protocols and they're like, yeah, you can't do
shit.
Right. You can do saline and you can do dextrose and you can do cardiac epi and that's about it. Yeah. And I'm like, what was the point in me even doing this if you're going to strip me of half of the things that make me useful? Right. It drove me crazy. That was ultimately the reason why I went to paramedic, because I was quite happy being an intermediate. And then they stripped it down so much that I was like, I'm literally just an EMT that can intubate and start IVs. I was like, this is stupid. I might as well just go be a paramedic.
And that's the fun. And it's kind of how I ended up on this tangent was, as we were talking, I was like, she's telling me about all these things that, they can do and all that stuff. And I was like, so with that lady that was having the cardiac arrest, you know what? Paramedic doesn't want to do their job. That's all fine and dandy. You're an EMT. Pick up the fucking phone. Call your doc.
Yeah.
Hey, doc, this is the patient I got. We don't have a paramedic. what would you like me to do?
Right.
Or I would like to do this. I'd like to administer some nitroglycerin. I'd like to administer some aspirin.
Yep.
We don't have a definitive time of when she took any of these things, so I'd like to just go ahead and administer. We have systolic to play with. Here we go.
Right.
That's it, because doctor says is a lot more, holds a lot more water than paramedic says.
Right. Or EMT says. Or
EMT
they
says.
just did.
So,
right. Yeah.
I said, so yeah, if you've got you got the juice, freaking go for it, man.
You might as well. Yeah,
Yep.
and that's something to be said. Like, it's one thing for like, EMTs and paramedics to go and, like call a doc to save their butt. But it's also like, hey, one of my partner or, another crew or whatever, system status, mutual aid, they didn't want to do their job. So I'm bringing this to you without them, as I should have been. What can I do? Doc, please help.
Right.
Like there are plenty of calls where that happens, where, the paramedic, you work in a system where the paramedic's not in your truck, and sometimes the other paramedic's like, yeah, no, it's all you, bye. And you're just like, okay, well, I guess this is me. Like, we're good. What can I do here? Think outside the box. Call a doc. Be like, yo, my paramedic abandoned me. We'll talk about that later, but what can I do here?
Right.
It might surprise you what the doc says. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or sometimes as a paramedic, your paramagician skills wear off, and you're like, oh shit, what do I do now? Then you call a doc. We're like, hey doc, I got an issue.
I'm out of ideas, man. Do some doctor stuff. Tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Yep. I got a bag of tricks. I'm thinking this. What do you think?
Yeah, I like to call them with a plan in my head, and see, that's just it. It's like, everyone's so quick to we'll call the doc. It's like, okay, you've tried this, you've tried that. What's next? Call a doc. Well, I mean, okay, you can always call a doc, but like when I do, it's usually because I'm out of ideas. Or I'm bringing something really critical and I want to make sure I have the people waiting for me when I get there.
Right.
But usually when I'm out of ideas, that's when I'll pick up the phone, because most of the time when I'm doing stuff and I'm still following protocol and I still got things in my head and whatnot, I'm thinking about so much treatment shit that the thought of calling a doctor doesn't even cross my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it should, but it doesn't.
Well, you get in
until I hit a brick wall.
Right. You get in that I'm treating mode. And that's
right.
where your brain's starting. And exactly when you hit the wall, or you're like, okay, now
this isn't working.
I need help. And then you think about it. It's almost like it's almost like nasal intubation. We've had those conversations on the podcast, and it's like, oh crap, I wish I had thought of that earlier.
Yep.
It just those sort of things happen. I've been in the same boat where it's like, oh man, I wish I called the doc like 10 minutes ago.
It's like today. It's like today with your patient there today. You text me. It's like, hey, did you try to do a right-sided? Oh, well, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Think about that.
I was sitting there like, I never even thought of that. And then, boom, the consult. Okay, cool. I did a right side. What'd it look like? Absolutely, literally identical.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Next step in that is, all they can do is transmit to a doc now and see if he sees what we see, and then go from there if you want to go that step.
Yep.
Yeah, if I hit a wall, I'll call. If I'm out of ideas, or the other time I'll call is if I have an idea of something to do that isn't in the book, and
done that.
It's like I'd like to do this, but just to make sure before I go and do it, let me call and get somebody that has MD at the end of their name to sign off on it.
Right.
And that's usually what I'll do, and that's like that's rare. And I usually call and I'll be like, okay, here's what's going on. I give patient information, all that stuff, and vitals, and I'll say, okay, so here's what I've done, and then here's what I would like to do. Here's what I'm thinking right now. What do you think?
Right.
It's more of we're just calling to get not there's so much their approval, but to cover us because of the protocol. Right. It's not like we're asking them to tell us what to do. It's just like for our protocols in our area, you have to for certain things.
Yeah. I mean, I think I was the first one that used the push dosed nitro at your guys' place, and when we first got it, and that was a call where I was literally flipping through 3 different protocols because there was 3 different things going on, and I was literally picking the happy medium between the 3 and treating that, and that was the one I ended up with Corey, and I had him pull over, and we came back, and I pulled the guy off the freaking stretcher and sat him up on the bench seat and strapped him in because he couldn't fucking breathe. He was so full of fluid, and he kept sliding down the cot because he was diaphoretic and round that he would slide down and his neck would pinch his airway off. And so I had Corey come back and like, hey, help me. We threw him up onto the bench seat and locked him in. But that whole time, not once did I call a doctor, even though I was bouncing between 3 different protocols, because I wasn't even. The thought to call a doctor never crossed my mind, because I still had protocols to work in. I was just cherry picking what I wanted out of them. But yeah, I mean, there's times where, you just think something up and it's like, man, just get a little sign off on it. I guess we get Dr. Co-sign this.
Yep. Yeah, and that's the nice part about calling. You never know what they're gonna say. Like, there's been plenty of times where I call and I'm like, yeah, I'm never getting that. And then they're like, yeah, you can get that. And I was like, wow, that is cool. I clicked the phone and I'm like, that was awesome. Like I called for ketamine for abdominal pain one time and they gave it to me, like a ton of it. And I was like, this is great. The same thing. Like, I called for ketamine for a humerus fracture and they gave it to me. And I was like, awesome. But then, you call for ketamine for, like a multi-system trauma where, half of their guts are hanging.
Fentanyl.
They're like, yeah, give them 100 of fentanyl. And you're like,
Wait a minute, I can put eyes on them. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I got a pressure of like 270 over 150. Can I give him, metoprolol? Nah, you'll be all right.
Yeah, no. I want to see him first.
So it's funny, when I first came down here, and they're running these scenarios and stuff, and they had cardiology day with one of the medical directors, and she's in there, and she's asking like, okay, here's what your patient has. I put the rhythm up. I'm like, all right, that's AFib. That's probably a rate like 160, 150, somewhere around there. And so yeah, okay, that's AFib, about a rate 150, 160. She's like, okay, what are you gonna do? I said, well, the first thing is after I do a 12 lead and all that other good stuff, my due diligence. I said, first thing I'm gonna do is find out whether or not she's taking a beta blocker, and if she is, I'm gonna go ahead and administer metoprolol. And
why didn't you crike her?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, you forgot to crike. Yep.
Oh, damn it, that's why I failed. But no, and she stops me. She goes, "Wow." She goes, "I wish we carried metoprolol because." And she goes, "We don't carry metoprolol but I wish, people would ask that and do that if we did, because apparently they had it and it got taken away."
Yeah, because stupid people.
Because
It's
nobody was
always 'cause of
asking,
stupid
"Are you
people.
on beta blockers?"
Right.
And then if you are, then you administer it. Otherwise, go to Cardizem.
Right.
And yeah, nobody was doing that. They were just going, "Oh, here you go, have some metoprolol." So
That always works.
Right.
yeah, but
Hey,
yeah, that was
rather-
funny. It was like, yeah,
I'd rather them get, a dose of metoprolol instead of a hole in their throat.
there is that.
Without sedation,
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Oh,
I'm sorry
look,
you're dying of not
I'm
being able
sorry.
to breathe, but I can't do anything yet.
right. Your sat is, 70 and you're still conscious. So sorry, we can't intubate you, but
if you could just go unconscious for
Right,
me and
if
just
you
go
can
black
just
jawed, I'd
die-
really appreciate it.
right. It's fine. It's fine. Oh man. Some
I'm
of this
sorry I got this trismus, but sorry, I can't do anything about that yet.
Could you imagine? Like, I could not imagine sitting there having that conversation with myself, being like, "Yep, nope, sorry, you're not dead yet, or you're not like almost dead yet for me
You're
to
not
do
dead
something."
enough.
Right? not dead enough.
Right.
You're not
So,
dead enough.
I'm sorry I
You're
can't.
mostly dead.
I can't.
Mostly dead.
I'm sorry that I could easily just put this tube in your throat and breathe for you and take all of the stress and the pain away. But
Yep.
no, I'm going to instead wait until you're dead so I can cut your throat open, put a tube down your throat that's exponentially smaller, and hope
No. If
that
you
it
wait till they're
helps.
dead, if you wait till they're dead, then you can just go ahead and intubate. You're fine.
Right.
You're good.
Almost dead.
No,
Sorry.
it's when they're still mostly dead and they're still looking at you. You can go, hey, you know what?
I'm
gonna
gonna
give you a
take this
blowhole.
I'm gonna take this scalpel and stab you in the throat.
Right.
Unbelievable.
Don't move.
Oh
Right.
my God. It really
Just
is.
try to relax.
Yeah. I
Aren't you
can't
gonna
give
me
you
something?
medication.
No, I
Relax.
can't give you
That's
anything.
Just hold still.
Right.
Don't mind this intensely sharp instrument coming into your throat.
Put your face shield down.
Right? Oh my God.
Might get a little squirty. Hold on.
Where's
Right.
my Bic pen? I'll just stab him with it.
Get the Sawzall out.
Right.
Oh my God. Oh,
You might feel a little pressure.
It's unfreaking real. It really is. Like, and you know what the craziest thing about it is like, we know that is an incredible procedure that none of us ever want to do, right? The margin for error on a crike is narrow. Like,
Right.
you really have to be precise. We don't practice it all that often. It's a halo skill, and we all are like, oh my God, we don't want to do it, right? And then you bring out, we've talked about it before, where we make fun of all the TV shows, 911 and Lone Star
Right.
911, and I was
Lone
watching.
Star.
Do it after the call.
I was
Yeah.
watching one the other day. I was watching New Amsterdam, right? And just to see like how bad it was. And of course, like
It was so bad.
dude,
How bad was it?
they had a civilian, like complete and utter civilian, no CFR, no EMT, no paramedic, no doctor, no nothing. Dancer. That was her trade. Dancer. Ballet dancer.
Oh.
Okay.
Damn.
Perform.
I thought it was the other kind of dancer.
Nope. Perform a crike out of the hospital on the phone with a doctor.
Ah.
And I'm like,
Oh.
this
Ah.
is
Ah.
why
Oh.
this is why our profession is laughed at. And
Wow.
like it's unbelievable
Wow.
to me. Because, someone's going to watch that
Well-
and be like, "Oh yeah, I could totally do that. Let me do that
Right.
at the diner when grandma goes down." And then we wonder why they've hemorrhaged to death when we get there. They're like, "Oh,
It's
oops. I should have used
mean,
the butter knife, but I used the steak knife.
Right.
I'm sorry."
right. But I mean, to be fair, like there's, I would say the majority of the people that work there, they know that it's wrong, and they know that there's a better option. But
Yeah,
they're just meeting
Baywatch.
resistance, and apparently the doctors can't understand that. All they see are the numbers. Oh, they only have a 60% intubation success rate. First pass or whatever the fuck, and it's just like, okay, and your point is.
Yeah.
Because
So they get to die because you don't want someone to try to intubate them.
exactly, they don't give you the option to try.
Right. And that's the travesty of it.
Yeah. And realistically, again, it comes down to education and the fact that we're not training these people to be proficient as they should, which is why they have a 60% success rate. They're not pre-oxygenating, they're not positioning properly, they're not, doing high flow nasal cannula, they're not sedating with the right drugs.
That was the thing. It was like
They're not using bougies.
Right, though.
Well,
Bingo.
right.
They're not they're not doing successful practices.
When I started listening to things people were talking about, and it's like they're like, oh yeah, we fucking tried to intubate, on the beach, in the middle of summer with 300,000 people around, and in the sand, and I'm just like,
why?
Why are you doing that? That's when you put your fucking your biad, and that's when you use your king. You know, you don't do ET intubation on a beach
Nope.
in the sand.
Nope.
You know, you shove your fucking rescue airway in, and off you go.
Yeah.
You know, you get them back to the truck. Yeah, now you can set up and do a proper thing, and guess what? Your numbers will go up. But if you got, you know, cowboy medicine, you know, yeah, I'm gonna fucking intubate right here in the sand in front of all these people. Good luck. You're probably not gonna do it.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, and you know, it's a sad state because, you know, clearly there are people out there and, you know, programs out there that do really well. You know,
Yeah.
my wife's flight program has like a 97, 96% first pass success rate across the entire state.
So why don't we emulate success?
Because
Why don't we look at the people who do it right and go, we should do it the way they do it?
Because what does it always cost? What is it? What do we have to worry about? Right?
Well, in that instance, there's two costs. There's money, and then there's well, I do things this way, and if I decided to do them a different way, that means I was wrong, and I can't be wrong because I know everything there is to fucking know.
Right.
So,
and you know,
And
we shake our
there's
heads
studies. There's studies that prove that if you want to be, you know, efficient in that skill, you need to have like 300 innovations a year.
Yeah.
To actually do that skill proficiently.
Yep.
You can't just have, you know, let's meet every 3 months and do 3 innovations and we'll be happy.
Not even 3 months. There's people that meet once a year. Oh, yep. I did my 2 intubations for the year. I'm
good.
I'm good. I'm RSI credentialed to use suction, you know, and etomidate and not, you know, worry that their blood pressure is 80/40 because, you know, I don't need to resuscitate their blood pressure. The tube is going to fix their problem. Oh,
Yep.
wait, why are they coding? Never would
Yeah,
have
but
known.
But their sats were 97 when I
Right.
put their tube in.
Right.
right.
Oh, yeah.
But no,
it's stupid.
So, I mean, even like realistically, yeah, we're not gonna, you know, be dropping 300, you know, even practice tubes a year. But still, you know, okay, I think we should just accept we're not going to ever be proficient at doing it. So, what is the other option? We do nothing. We crike. Or we do the best we fucking can.
EMS
we try
is
to do
really
it the
good
right
at
way.
doing nothing.
What was that?
EMS is really good at doing nothing.
Well,
That's the way we've always done it.
yeah, unfortunately, you know, I'm of the camp that says I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Yep. I'm with you there. I think we should have these things. But, you know, I also think the education needs to back it up to be able to have these things. Because ultimately, you know, the docs are just going to be like, oh, look, they suck so much. How much do we talk about, you know, the suck, you know? And eventually they're, you know, when we suck too much, they take it away, you know?
There's already some states that are pulling it. There's already
Right.
some states that are pulling intubation medics.
I know. You would maybe we just suck really bad. Like our techniques just needs to get better. You know, I don't know.
I don't know. The 12-year-old in me was going to make a comment, but
I was trying to help that comment out, but you know,
it was coming.
You swallowed the cum.
I was like, really? This is the first time, like, if you suck too much that you don't get paid.
Yeah. No payment for
You
you.
have to go from suck to blow.
Yeah.
Well,
That's a transition.
We're ending, you know, we're nearing the 11 o'clock hour.
We're near.
We are near the 11 o'clock hour here.
The sheriff is near.
The sheriff is near.
I think Phil's met his 6-word quota for the night.
I
Yeah,
know,
I think we're good.
Even with the chat, the man didn't
And
speak a lot.
and he's got his fidget spinner there. He didn't say nothing, didn't interact, and yeah, he did good.
You know, I was amazed that that Phil didn't even speak when you know,
Even with his job, he
even
didn't say
even
words.
with the chat, then He didn't even speak all that
He
much.
just
but-
typed in the chat. He didn't say anything. No words.
I know.
Yeah, we saw
I know.
we saw the knuckles a few times.
And yet it's hilarious how much he talks on the podcast. And yet it's like you put a camera in front of him and oh my God, I can't speak. My words are gone. I forget
I don't know
English.
words. I cannot speak.
But yet
Talk amongst yourselves.
we love Phil and the Phil Foundation. So
Yes.
it is what it is. He will continue to be here for us to poke fun at. And to interject
There's such a delay. Like you guys, I go to say something and then someone starts up again. I'm like, oh wait.
Interrupt.
So, yes, what I've learned is just keep
Interrupt.
talking.
you right.
Just keep talking and shut everyone else the fuck up.
Right.
Bring out that Italian side. Just talk.
Right. You just
Right.
got to shut them up. Or
Just start
when
talking.
you really want to get it in there, just be like, Gerard, shut up. And,
Right, shut the fuck up. Hold
Yeah.
on a second.
And then, then it's fine.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
as always, guys, thank you very much for joining us on this Friday night. We'll be back next week. Again, check out those links in the description. Check out that new Discord. Hopefully I see some new people in the weekly chats there. It is a place.
I'm always in and out of Discord too.
Exactly.
so
And
I'll
that's
probably see
the
y'all.
fun thing about the Discord is it's literally non-ending. Like it's there
And you can even get it on your phone.
and you can get it on your phone, which is phenomenal. So it's
Yep.
one of those things that, we're going to be pressing, going forward. We're going to be using it a lot. We're going to try and build that, medic materials community around the Discord. So if you're a Patreon, the Patreon link is also in the description of these live streams. Become a Patreon. We've revamped the entire Patreon. There's now only one tier. It's the Donuts tier. It's $5 a month. And it gets you access to the third Patreon podcast. It gets you cool merch like the donut. And
The crochet donut.
the crochet donut.
Cronut.
Donut.
It gets you. What else do we give away in the Patreon? The podcast.
All kinds of shit.
The podcast.
Well,
our
I'll tell you how
live
they
stream-
can find out.
I know.
You see
go
Phil how I'm doing
go
that?
to
I'm just talking right
Patreon.
over him. So
See, look, Phil. See how that works?
see how this works. So
This is what's great about it. Just speak. I'll just shut up. It's fine.
Shut the fuck up.
Hey, shut the fuck up. Hey,
whoa,
hey,
hey. Oh,
Galago.
so
Phenomenal.
you know how they can find out about all this stuff?
Yeah, they click the link.
They can click that link, and while you're clicking on, before you click the link, there's like a couple other things you can click on that you just gotta. If you can do this and you don't feel any pain, right? No arthritis, no arthritis, or any of that stuff. That means you can click on the subscribe button. You can click on the like button, click on the notification, and then click the Discord link. That's what, 5 clicks.
Yeah, it's amazing. That's
It
less
costs
than,
you nothing.
Can't
It's
do it
less
with
than-
this
costs you a
hand. I can
dime.
do it with this hand.
less than doing your damn taxes.
Yeah, he could even do it.
There you go.
Look, see, it's broken, but I can do it.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to be a carnival barker. We want to freaking meet people. We want people to come in and freaking hang out and shoot the shit and whatever. It's
That's
there
right.
for you if you want it. It's there.
Absolutely.
You
All
know?
right,
I
guys.
could do free consultations.
Free consultations with
There
the
you
Maha,
go.
right?
With the Maha.
If you have any strips that are making you scratch your head or blood shoot out your eyes, give them a call.
There you go.
There you
You
go.
know,
I like it already.
his new toll-free number 1-800-Unbelievable.
Unfreaking believable.
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
All right, guys. Till next week.
All
Thank
right.
you very much. And Gerard, lead us out with the favorite word.
Cronuts.
There you go.
Cronuts. You know you want one. They make good pinky rings.
Ooh, pinky rings.